Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Is my voice is clear to all of you? Am I audible? Am I audible, guys? Please, all of you respond for me. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Right. Good evening, guys. And check it what topics we discussed there in the last session. So we started differences between Java and other programming languages. In other programming languages, we understood clearly C and C++, the topic we started there. In that, the very first difference here, what we understand there, C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Guys, respond for me. What exactly the reason why C and C++ are static and Java is a dynamic programming language? What is the reason here? No? If any programming language allows memory allocation for primitive data types at the compilation time, then the programming language is called as static programming language. Examples are what there? C and C++. In C and C++ applications, memory will be allocated for the primitive data types at a compilation time. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data types at a runtime, then that programming language is called as what there? Dynamic programming language. Example for this dynamic programming language is what there? Java. So many languages are available. In our context, I have taken what there? Java. Right. In Java applications, memory will be allocated for the primitive data types at a runtime only. There are given some representation. What is compilation time? What is runtime? All these many things here we provided clearly. Then immediately we started the second point. What is that second point here we started, guys? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. There are given some information to you initially. Where is that preprocessor actually? Preprocessor is the first phase in compilation. You already understand one diagram, I think so. What was the diagram you understood there? C program, first of all, I've taken compilation, .exe files we are getting after compilation, execution, then output we are getting. In the compilation, overall, how many phases are available? 4 phases are available. What are the 4 phases which are available here? Preprocessor, compiler, assembler, loader, link editor. Here preprocessor is existed here. Preprocessor is the first phase inside the compilation. That is our recognition clearly. Next one is, anyway, here we have the discussion about to talk about compiler. Compiler internally contains 6 number of phases. What are the 6 number of phases here? Lexical analysis, syntax analysis, semantic analysis, intermediate code generation, code optimization, then a code generation. These are overall steps what we are having there. Okay, fine. Then I give in few points about it. Preprocessor purpose I'm talking there. To understand the purpose of this preprocessor, in C and C++, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of what they know header files. The complete predefined library was provided in the form of what their header files. Examples are given: yesterday.h, conio.h, math.h, and so on. If you want to use the predefined library, if you want to use the predefined library, if you want to use the predefined library in C and C++ applications, first we have to include header files into C and C++ applications. First we have to include what they know header files in C and C++ applications. To include header files in C and C++ applications, we have to use hash include statement. Then after that, examples I have given there: hash include yesterday.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h, like this. Here we provided some hash include statements clearly. Right, guys? Observe carefully. Now here we need to understand some internal flow of execution. What is that internal flow of execution? Here we have to understand there. All of you guys, observe carefully. 1 minute, sir. The location of this diagram is this. Right. Now let's come for this one here. Some internal flow of execution here I'm telling to you. Try to understand this internal flow of execution clearly. For example, when we compile C and C++ program, when we compile C and C++ program, preprocessor will perform the following actions. You only tell me what are the various actions which are performed by preprocessor here. No? First one is what there preprocessor will recognize all hash include statements. Am I right or not? Preprocessor will recognize all hash include statements, and preprocessor will take the provided header files names. That's the first one here. So preprocessor will take all the header files names which are provided along with the hash include statements. Then after that, what next point here? Observe carefully. After that, preprocessor will check whether these header files are existed or not in C and C++ software. What program we have used there in the respective thing, it able to check. All right, sir. Here the points are available here now. What exactly the points are existed here? Files exist or not in C and C++ softwares. Next one is what there. If the required header files, if the required header files are not existed in C and C++ softwares, instead of saying the required, no, if the specified header files are not existed in C and C++ softwares, then what will happen there? No, if the required or specified header files are not existed in C and C++ softwares, then what will happen there? Then compilation or maybe then error will be raised. Error will be raised. What is that error? It is not required. That is up to C and C++. Just basic awareness we have to understand. Error will be raised. Leave this one here now. Error will be raised. Errors will be raised. Okay, fine. Next one is after that. Then after that, what next one here? After completion of this, if the specified header files are existed in C and C++ softwares, specified header files are existed in C and C++ softwares, then preprocessor will load these header files content to the memory. Header files content to the memory. Observe carefully. Here, what is that one note point here? I'm telling to you. Observe carefully this note point here. It is not like the point here. Note type of point is what there? Loading predefined library at a compilation time is called as what, sir? Now tell me. Loading predefined library at compilation time is called as what there? Static loading. That's a point here we have to recognize. Fine, complete it. Then what next one here? After completion of this particular one here, okay, then library is loaded here, loaded to the memory. That is up to that is the responsibility of what they know preprocessor. Get my point or not? Preprocessor responsibilities here we are getting clearly. Next, observe carefully. After completion of this, what next one here I'm telling to you. Listen, conclusion here I'm telling there. What is the conclusion here I'm telling there? In C and C++ applications, in C and C++ applications, preprocessor is required. Preprocessor is required. For what purpose they know required? To recognize hash include statements. To recognize hash include statements in order to load, header files to the memory. In order to load header files to the memory. That's the point here I'm telling you. This is a conclusion here we have to understand why preprocessor is required in C and C++. Guys, all of you are following or not? Yesterday we had some discussion over these topics. No, already we have some information on it, right? That is the point here I'm telling there. That's okay, fine. Next one is why preprocessor is not required in Java. That's the point here. Why preprocessor is not required in Java? That point here we have to understand. In Java, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of classes and interfaces in the packages. What are the various examples for packages now? Java.io, Java.util, Java.sql. Observe carefully. Then after that, what next one here? After completion of this particular point, in Java applications, if you want to use predefined library, then we have to include the required packages. To import the required packages, we have to use what they know, use the import statement. Or maybe we have to include the predefined library. Okay, or else here I need to specify like what they, we have to import the required packages. To import the required packages, we have to use what they know, import statement. What are the examples for import statements? Can know import java.io.store, import java.util.store, import java.sql.store. Like this here we are having clearly. Right, sir. That's okay, fine. Then after that, after understanding these points now here we need to understand some predefined, that means internal process of this particular topic that we have to understand there. What is this internal content here? Observe carefully, guys, all of you know. When I compile a Java program, the Java program includes like what they know, all the import statements. When I compile a Java program, here what happened there? Compiler, what compiler will perform actions? No, what JVM will perform actions? If you observe this point here we are having some points here. Point number one, compiler will recognize all import statements. Compiler will take the specified package names. Compiler will go to the Java software where compiler will check whether these packages are existed or not existed. If these packages are not existed, compiler will raise an error. If these packages are existed, compiler will not raise any error. At the same time, compiler will not load any package content to the memory. In Java, what is the responsibility of the compiler? Compiler responsibility is only checking whether packages are available or not available. Compiler is not responsible for what they know, not responsible for loading any predefined library. If compiler is not responsible for loading any predefined library, then whose responsibility is loading predefined library to the memory? JVM responsibility. At runtime, Java virtual machine is responsible for loading predefined library to the memory. Guys, all of you get my point here, what I'm telling you? This is what exactly the internal concepts here we have to understand. Now let's observe carefully the points here. I need to give some document here regarding this one also. Try to observe this point clearly. All right, sir. Now, when we compile Java application, compiler will perform the following actions. What actions that compiler is performing there? Now, first one, compiler will recognize all the import statements, all the import statements. Then after that, compiler will take the provided package names. That's point number one. Observe carefully. Compiler, what it able to do there? Compiler will recognize all the import statements. Compiler will take the provided package names. That's the first point. Next one is compiler will check whether these packages are existed or not in Java software. Here the cases are available here. Compiler will check whether these packages exist or not in the Java software. Another point is like what I'm telling there. No, in the case if the specified packages are not existed, then compiler will raise an error. What is that error is not required immediately? Then definitely compiler will raise an error. Understand it clearly. For example, next point is what there. If the specified packages are existed, the specified packages are existed, then what compiler will do? No, then compiler compiler will not raise any error, and at the same time compiler will not load any package content to the memory. Okay, here I want to give some note here. What is that note type of point here? We have to understand there. What is the note type of point I am telling there? In Java, at a runtime in the sense what they know at execution time. In Java, at a runtime, JVM will load the required library to the memory. JVM will load the required library to the memory. This type of loading is called as what? This type of loading is called as what, guys? No, dynamic loading. Observe carefully. Now, this is what exactly the point I'm telling you. Finally, I want to go for conclusion. What's my conclusion here? No, why preprocessor is not required in Java? Why preprocessor is not required in Java? That is my question here. For this question, answer is very clear. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Preprocessor is not required. Why? Because what is the reason here? No, preprocessor is not required. Not required. Why? Because what is the reason for it here? Why? Because in Java, hash include statements and header files are not existed. Hash include statements and header files are not existed. Because of that reason, because of this reason, what is not required here? No, because of that reason, preprocessor is not required in Java. Guys, all of you are getting clarity. Now, these are the various points here we have to understand there. Next one is after completion of this. Now, here, observe this clearly. We prepared one diagram there clearly, right? I prepared one diagram. The same diagram I want to convert into the Java. Whatever the diagram we have seen there, that we have seen with respect to C and C++. Now we have to convert the same diagram to what they know, Java. One minute, sir. Okay, no problem. Things so it's not copied here. It is coming here. Anyway, no issues now. Don't worry for it now. Just I will prepare this diagram within 2 minutes of time. Now try to observe this clearly. With respect to the Java, I want to prepare this diagram here. Now, if it is Java, now tell me what is that file extension here? No, that file extension should be what they know dot Java. Dot Java is a file extension. That's okay. Next one is we have to compile this. Then we need to go for like what they know compilation. Here we need to go for like what their compilation. Observe carefully. All right, sir. Compilation. When we compile this file, in the case of Java, in the case of C and C++, we are able to get one type of file. What is the type of file here? We are able to get the no dot exe files we are getting in C and C++. But in the case of Java, what we are getting there no dot class files. No confusion. Please recognize these points here. Gradual, I'm including one by one points in Java. So in Java, two types of files. One is a dot Java, another one is what there dot class file. Next one, I need to execute this program here. When we execute this program, there we are able to get some output. Execution. Here we need to get like what there execution. Then after completion of this execution here what we have to do there, some output here we are able to get. Output here we are getting there. That's it. Now if we come for this compilation here, then how many phases are available in general in the compilation, guys? Now in general I'm asking there. In C and C++, 4 phases are available or not? What are the 4 phases are available here? Pre-processor. Then after that, what next one can know? Compiler. Next one is like what there no? Assembler. Then after that, what next one can know? Loader, link, editor. These are the various phases are available inside like what they know inside the Java. Sorry, inside this normal in C and C++ here. Okay. Now get what I'm telling to you after completion of this. If it is Java programming language, what is not going to be existed here no? If it is Java programming language, what is not going to be existed here no? Preprocessor is not existed. Please recognize this point here. Preprocessor is not existed. Fine. Next one is if you observe this compiler, this part here, nearly how many phases are available here? 6 phases are existed here. What are the 6 phases now? First one is lexical analysis. Next one is like what there? Syntax analysis. Then after that, semantic analysis. Then after that, intermediate code generation. Then after that, what next one can know? Code optimization. Code optimization. Right, sir. Then after that, code generation. Last phase is like what they know? Code generation. These are overall steps. That means there are overall phases which are available inside the compilation. Understand it clearly? Now, lexical analysis phase, syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis phase, intermediate code generation, then code optimization. These are overall structure of like what there Java. With respect to Java, what exactly the diagram here we prepared, this is structure here we have to understand. Right. So now let's understand this one here. When we have to provide this, now this is a location here we have to understand about to provide this. This is a diagram here. With respect to Java, I'm giving there. Good, nice. After completion of this, here I have a question. I have one important interview question to all of you. Everybody has to answer for my question here. What is the question here I'm asking there? At a fresher level, definitely this question is valid. You may get this question at a fresher level. Here my question is, what exactly the differences between hash include statement and import statement? What is the difference between hash include statement and import statement? That is my question here. All right, sir. Now simple. My question is very clear. What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement. Yesterday already we understood these points. No, try to recognize this. What are the differences between hash include statement and what next one? Import statement. We have to understand answer also. No, then very first point here I'm telling to you. Observe carefully the first point here. What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? Right, exactly. That very first point. Very first point is what they are doing, what hash include statement is doing, what import statement is doing. That point here we have to understand now. Your answer is very clear. Hash include statements are able to include predefined library existed in header files. Am I right or not? Hash include statements are used to include predefined library existed in what they know. Include the predefined libraries exist in what they know, existing in header files. Now tell me at the same time here, what about this import statement here? What we are understanding there now? Import statements are able to include the predefined library existed in packages. Am I right or not? If the predefined library is available in the package, no, that library here we included. This is point number one. But before that, I want to give one more point here. What about this point number one? Hash include statements are available in C and C++. Whereas import statements are available in what they import statements are available in what they know Java. Import statements are available in what they know Java. Understand this clearly. Yes, sir. Got my point or not? Now the second point is what there hash include statements are able to include predefined library existing in header files, whereas import statements are able to include the predefined library existing in what they know in packages. That is another point here. Now here we have to understand like what there point number three. Observe carefully. Hash include statements are supporting which loading? Now tell me. Okay, before that, hash include statements are hash include statements are evaluated by whom they know preprocessor or not. Hash include statements are evaluated by whom here preprocessor. Am I right or not? Similarly, import statements are evaluated by both compiler and JVM. Am I right or not? Both the compiler and the JVM. Right. So now this is another point here we have to understand. Next one here. Fourth point here I'm telling to you regarding these types of loading here. Types of loading. Hash include statement is supporting. Hash include statement is supporting. Which type of loading you know? Static loading. Hash include statement is supporting what there? Static loading. Observe carefully. Whereas import statements are supporting which type of loading you know import statements are supporting which type of loading you know dynamic loading. Observe carefully, import statements are supporting which type of loading you know dynamic loading. Right, sir. This is another point here. Next I'm telling to you, observe carefully, fifth point. Now anyway, fifth point, before talking about this fifth point, no, let me ask one syntax to you. All of you answer for my question here. One simple syntax, no. hash include hash include observe carefully, stdio.h, comma, conio.h, comma, math.h. Is it possible to provide this type of syntaxes? No. Is it possible in C and C++? That means by using single hash include statement, is it possible to provide more than one header file? Possible or not possible? Definitely not possible. It is not possible to provide more than one header file by using single hash include statement. So this is invalid here. But what is valid here? Now tell me. Here we have to use like what there? Hash include stdio.h, stdio.h. Next one is what there? Hash include conio.h. Then after that, what next one here? Hash include math.h, like this. All these are possible. Am I right or not? So what is the meaning of it here? Answer my point here now. If we want to include more than one, if you want to include more than one header file in C and C++ applications, if you want to include more than one header file in C and C++ applications, then we have to use more than one header file, more than one hash include statement. More than one hash include statement. Observe carefully some examples here I'm giving there. This is one example here I given there. Now this is what there, valid or invalid here now. This is invalid. Observe carefully. But some examples here I'm giving there. Other examples here I'm giving there. Now here, these examples are like what they know, valid here. All these are examples are like what they know, valid. We can understand the status now. The status is what they're valid. Observe carefully. First one is invalid, second one is valid. But in the case of Java, what advantage here we are able to get there inside the Java? Inside the Java, what advantage here we are able to get now in Java by using single import statement. Guys, observe carefully. In Java, by using single import statement, we are able to include or we are able to import more than one class or more than one interface of the same package. More than one class or more than one interface of the same package. Any example, guys? Now observe carefully. Right, sir. Here we are having some example. What is that example here now? Observe carefully. If I provide import java.io.star. Guys, now tell me, what is the star representation here now? All inside a single package, more than one class and more than one interface is available. Multiple classes and multiple interfaces are available inside what they know, a single, that means inside a single package now. But if you want to get more than one class or more than one interface of the same package to the present Java file, if you want to get more than one class or more than one interface of the same package to the present Java file, their single import statement is sufficient. Single import statement is sufficient. Just if we use star notation, all classes and interface of that package will come to our present Java file. But in the case of C and C++, what happened there? No, how many hash include statements here we have to write there? For each and every header file, we have to write a separate hash include statement here we have to write. Now tell me, in which case more number of finish sections are required in C and C++? In which case less number of finish sections are sufficient? No, in Java here. Guys, all of you are following my points or not? Right, so now these are basic differences between hash include and import statements clearly. Guys, all of you understand these points now? Will you repeat these points along with me? Will you cover these points here? Now anyway, one time now try to understand it. What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement now? What is the first difference here I given, sir? Now tell me. Hash include statements are available in what there? C and C++, but whereas import statements are available in what there? Java. Leave this one. The second difference is what there? Hash include is able to include the predefined library existing in what their header files, whereas import statements are able to include the predefined library existing in what their packages now. Next one is hash include statements are evaluated by preprocessor, but import statements are evaluated by both the compiler and JVM. Next one, hash include statements are supporting static loading. Import statements are supporting what they know, dynamic loading. Next one, if we want to include more than one header file in C and C++ applications, then we have to use more than one hash include statement. Examples are given there. Hash include stdio.h, conio.h, math.h are what they're invalid. But here, valid cases are given like what there? Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, and hash include math.h valid. Next one, in Java, by using single import statement, we are able to import more than one class or more than one interface of the same package. Example I've given there, import java.ivo.star. Guys, all of you are following these points now? Well, already everything I explained yesterday. That's why in a overview manner, I given all these points here. This question is important, especially for the freshers. This question is very, very important here. So we have to answer for this question clearly. Guys, now all of you now tell me, I'm going to ask some few questions to you, now try to answer for it. Tell me guys, what is the difference between C and C? What is the difference between hash include statement, import statement? No, what is the first point here? Come on, what is the first point here? Hash include statements are available in which language? No. C and C++. Import statements are available in which language? No. Java. Nice. That is the first point here. Which libraries are included by hash include statements? No. Header files. Header files. Which libraries which are available in which things are included by import statements? No. Packages. Packages are included by that import statements. No. Next one. Static loading is supported by what? Static loading is supported by what? Hash include or import statements? No. Hash include. Import statements are supporting what? Dynamic loading here. Is it possible to include more than one header file by using single hash include statement? No. Multiple hash include statements we have to write. Is it possible to include more than one class or more than one interface of the same package by using single import statement? Yes, it is possible here. So these are the points here we have to remember. Guys, all of you are okay now? Shall we start our next topic? Next difference. All of you ready for it? Yeah, this is also be very important difference. Very important point here. So everybody has to understand this point also clearly. Listen, guys, all of you know. Third difference. What is the third difference here? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages. But Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is what their platform independent programming language. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. Before understanding C and C++, whether they are platform dependent or platform independent, before these points, first we have to understand when a programming language is platform dependent, when a programming language is platform independent. First we have to understand these points. Guys, just simple logic only. Try to follow these points now. This is very important topic. Everybody has to understand this point. Number of times we are going to say Java is a platform independent. Java is a platform independent. But today we are going to understand how Java is a platform independent. So for that I'm telling this particular point here. Anyway, the point is very clear. Before understanding C, C++, Java are platform dependent or platform independent, first we have to understand when a programming language is platform dependent, when a programming language is platform independent. After that, we are going to confirm C, C++ are platform dependent or independent. Java is a platform dependent or independent now. Right, sir. All of you observe carefully. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution both on the same operating system, then that programming language is a platform dependent programming language. Simple, very simple point here. If any programming language allows its applications to perform both compilation and execution on the same operating system, not on two different operating systems. Not possible to compile on one operating system and executing on another operating system. Not possible. Both must be performed on the same operating system. Both the compilation and execution both must be performed on the same operating system. Then that programming language is platform dependent programming language. All of you get my point or not? Simple definition I've given here. Now let me explain this point clearly. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called as platform dependent programming language. Am I right or not? This is a simple definition, guys. Examples are what there? Example for platform dependent programming languages are what there? C and C++. But here I have a question. Why C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? Why C and C++? How can you say C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages? I will give some explanation or try to understand this explanation, guys. All of you know, observe carefully. Listen, all of you know. I'll prepare a diagram, no? Try to understand this diagram here. The concepts must be very, very important. You have to put complete attention to understand these points. For example, I'm taking C programming language. It's a C program. So .c is an extension. .c is an extension. Observe carefully. When I've written the C program, here I have to compile the program or not? I have to perform compilation or not? So okay, I must go for like what they know compilation. Here I am going to take like what their compilation process. This is what I am telling to you, compilation. Nice. In a C program, when we compile the program there, automatically here we are able to get one type of file. What file here we are able to generate there? We are able to get there. Inside this, that file should be .exe file. .exe file here we are able to get. Understand it now. Whenever we are getting the .exe file, there we have to execute this. We need to go for like what they know execution here now. So let me go for this execution process here now. Yeah, this is exactly like what their execution. When we execute this program, there we are able to get some output. After executing our program here, we are able to get what there some output. Output here we are getting. Right, sir. As per the definition, first of all, I'm telling to you, observe carefully. For compilation, here we have to use one operating system. Let's say, for example, I'm going to use Windows operating system for compilation purpose. And for execution, also we need one operating system. Definitely, execution is also a process. The process could be done on a particular operating system. As per the definition, for execution, we must provide which operating system? No, same operating system here we have to provide. As per the definition, same operating system we have to provide for compilation and for execution. Clear? But for our discussion point of view, to prove C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, to prove this particular point, I don't want to take Windows operating system for execution. I want to take a Linux operating system for what they know execution purpose. Linux operating system here I want to take. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point here. What exactly the points here I'm telling to you. First of all, here I've taken like what they know a C program here I've taken. Understand it clearly. This is my C program. Now here, whenever we are performing compilation, this is my compilation. When we perform compilation, here what files here we are getting there no .exe file here we are getting. And whenever we are executing our program there, automatically here we are getting like what there some output here we are getting there. Understand this clearly. Now here I'm using one operating system here for compilation. What is that operating system? No, Windows operating system. But what I'm telling there for execution point of view, I might be go for what there some other operating system. That is what they know Linux operating system here I'm using there. Understand my point here. Some other operating system here I'm going to use there. That is like what their Linux operating system. Observe carefully. Okay, now for our discussion point of view here we have to understand. Listen carefully, all of you know. Everybody understand this clearly. First understand this execution is going on with a C engine or not? Execution is going on with what they know C engine. Execution in the sense like what they know C engine will perform this. Now tell me C engine means that C software is available here also. This C software is installed on the top of what there? Linux operating system. Here C engine is available on what there? Linux operating system. So the point is what there? Here C engine is able to execute only Linux Linux based executable code. Observe carefully. C engine is available on the top of what there no on the top of Linux operating system. So because of that reason, C engine is able to execute only Linux represented .exe file. Linux represented executable code. One point you have to recognize, fundamental point. From operating system to operating system, executable code formats are varied, different. Don't think same representation is available in all the operating systems. From one operating system to another operating system, internal code representations are varied. Same representation is not available in all the operating systems. Yes, guys, all of you are getting my point or not? Okay, fine. Observe carefully. This is the story about C engine. Its capability is what there. It able to understand only what is that one can know Linux based. Fine, good. Now tell me, guys. All of you now tell me. C program we are compiling on Windows operating system or not? We are trying to compile C program on what there no Windows operating system. Observe carefully. Observe carefully. When we compile C program on Windows operating system, here .exe file is generated. Am I right or not? .exe file is generated. What is the .exe file here actually? What .exe file is generated here? .exe file is generated as per Windows representations. As per which representations they know? Windows representations. It contains Windows based executable code. It contains what there? Windows based executable code. By this explanation, you can understand what is going to be happen here. Guys, observe carefully what I am telling to you. First of all, I have taken C program that we compiled on which operating system? No, Windows operating system. Am I right or not? When we compile C program on Windows operating system, here .exe file is generated or not? This .exe file is generated as per which representations? No, Windows representations. It has what there? Windows representations. Observe carefully. If I give this Windows represented .exe file to the C engine which is on Linux, is it possible for C engine which is on Linux? Is it possible for C engine to execute our Windows represented .exe file? Is it possible for C engine to execute Windows represented .exe file as it is available on Linux representations? No. It is expecting Linux representations as it was installed on Linux, but we are providing what representations? No, Windows representations here we are providing. So where some mismatch is available or not, where some incompatibility is coming or not, that incompatibility makes C programming languages a platform dependent. Why? Because of that mismatch, because of that incompatibility, we are unable to execute our program now. Because of this incompatibility, we are unable to execute our program now. Am I right or not? But now tell me, if we want to execute this program here, then what I have to do there? Now tell me. Come on, if I want to execute this program here, then what we have to provide there? Now we have to answer for it now. Here we have to provide which operating system here? No, same Windows operating system here we have to provide. Here we have to provide what operating system here? No, same Windows operating system. Here we have to strike off this Linux. In place of this Linux, here we have to provide what they know? Windows. If we provide Windows operating system here, now tell me, in my statement I need to change this one. What change here we require here? No, C engine is available on which operating system? No, Windows operating system. C engine is able to execute only which representations? No, as the C engine is available on Windows now, it able to execute only what they know? Windows or not? Windows based or not? Answer my point clearly. Now it able to execute only Windows based representations or not? Yes, exactly, Windows based representations now. Now understand this point here clearly. We compiled our C program on Windows operating system. When we compile our C program on Windows operating system, here we are getting what there? .exe file we are getting. This .exe file is provided as per which operating system representations? No, Windows operating system representations. Then after that, we are trying to execute this Windows operating system representation on what they know C engine, which is available on Windows operating system only. So C engine is required which representations? No, Windows representations only. We are providing which representations? No, Windows representations only. Where compatibility is coming or not, where match is identified or not. Whenever this match is identified, now program will be executed. Now program will be executed here in this case now. Why? Because we have maintained same operating system for compilation, same operating system for execution. So we are able to compile and execute that C and C++ programs in this particular environment. Now tell me guys, all of you now tell me, C programming language is dependent on the operating system or not? C programming language execution is dependent on the operating system which was used for compilation or not? No response guys. Right, C and C++ applications execution is totally depending on the operating system which we used for execution or not, which we used for compilation or not. So C and C++ are what they know? Platform dependent programming languages. C and C++ are what they're? Platform dependent programming languages. Just give 1 minute of time here. I will explain this total point here. Let me have some document now. Then what's the point I'm telling there? If we compile C program, just I'm taking C program as an example. If we compile C program on Windows operating system, then compiler will generate Windows represented .exe file. Windows represented .exe file. Answer my point here. Windows represented .exe file. Right, sir. Next one. So here the Windows represented .exe file will be executed on only Windows operating system only. On only what there? Windows operating system only. Not possible to execute on other operating system. On other operating system. Not possible to execute on what they know? Other operating systems. That's the point I'm telling there. Right, sir. Now, these are the points here we have to understand clearly about this. If we compile C program on Windows operating systems, then compiler will generate Windows represent.exe file. Here the Windows represent.exe file will be executed on only what they know, on only Windows operating system, on only Windows operating system. Not possible to execute on what their other operating systems. So due to this reason here, what we are able to provide here, we can understand. Therefore, or due to the above reason, now tell me guys, C and C++ both are what they know? Platform dependent programming languages. Guys, all of you are getting clarity on this point now? Programming languages. Nice. All right, sir. Then diagram I prepared here. Let me take this diagram here. Let me use this diagram here. I want to copy this. Let me provide this diagram here clearly. Right. So okay, fine. Diagram is also available. Listen, all of you listen carefully. Up to now, we understood C and C++ for what their platform dependent programming languages. We understood. Okay. Now we have to understand what their Java is platform independent programming language. Whether you understood C, C++ or platform dependent or not, that doesn't matter. That's out of the scope. For comparison, I'm talking there. But you must understand why Java is platform independent programming language. Because you want to learn Java programming language, you must understand why and how Java is platform independent programming language. Guys, let's go for this particular point. Can I go for that particular point? All of you okay? All of you okay? I'm telling to you again now. In a small, minute point, I'm going to give the conclusion. Java is a platform independent programming language. That minute point we have to catch. That minute point we have to catch. Right? All of you ready for it now? Right, sir. Don't have any discussions over it, right? Of course, you are thinking about it. Tomorrow's cricket match. There any cricket match on tomorrow? I think you don't know, right? There is a cricket match on tomorrow, right? And tomorrow, one day cricket match, right? Then who will win that match? Any predictions? No? Sure, right? India, right? India or New Zealand? How many of you are saying India will win that match, sir? No, tell me. How many of you are saying India will win that match? No. Okay. How many of you are saying New Zealand will win that match? What about the rest of the people? I think some of you raised your hand for both the cases. No. What's the meaning of it? As a match abandoned due to rain. No? Right, sir. Anyway, now let's understand it. So people are asking about draw. Sir, this is one day cricket match. Duckworth-Lewis rules are available, right? When Duckworth-Lewis rules are available there, then there is a problematic thing for cricket matches. No. Anyway, then some kind of decisions are going to be taken here. It's okay, fine. Anyway, come for our point here. Don't ask about my prediction there. My predictions are always right, max. 99% of my predictions will be right, but I don't want to give any prediction for this. You can understand what is the result of it. Let's come for this point here. Guys, understand it. Now our point is what there? Platform independent programming languages. Java is a platform independent programming language. Here we have to understand, before understanding Java is platform independent or dependent, first we have to understand when a programming language is platform independent programming language. First we have to understand what there, when a programming language is platform independent programming language. Am I right or not? Now understand this clearly. I'm going to give some point here. If any programming language, guys, observe my point here. If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system. Got my point or not? In the case of platform dependent, what I given there? If we compile and execute on the same operating system, then the programming language is what there? Platform dependent. Now what's the point now? If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is what they know. That programming language is what they know is platform independent programming language. Then it is what their platform independent programming language. Right, sir. Platform independent programming language. Observe carefully. Right, sir. Good. All of you are getting my point, you know. This is about like what their platform independent programming language definition I'm telling to you. Tell me examples for it now. Java is the best example. Of course, Python is also a platform independent only. So many things are available but not required. Now we have to understand like what they know. Java. Only what we have to understand there. Java. Java is the best example here now. But my question is, why Java is platform independent? How Java is a platform independent programming language? Any reason for it? What reasons can we included to say Java is a platform independent programming language? Any reason for it? No. Yes, now I'm going to give some reasons to you. Try to understand that reasons, guys. It's very simple. Now try to understand it now. First of all, let me prepare a diagram. I want to prepare a diagram there to say Java is platform independent programming language. Observe carefully. First of all, as per the definition, I want to prepare a diagram. As per the definition, I want to prepare a diagram. Understand it now. First of all, I'm going to take a Java program. This is my Java application. That means here I'm telling to you .java file. Okay, then after this .java file, I need to compile this program here. So I have to take compilation process here. I need to take what their compilation. Compilation. Observe carefully. When we have taken this compilation here, after compilation of the Java program, we are able to get one type of file. What type of files here we are able to get here? Come on, guys. What files here we are able to get there? Remember this. One time we have to remember this. In case of C and C++, After compilation of the C program, .obj, .exe, .ai, so many files, no confusion. In the case of Java, it's very clear, straightforward. After compilation of our Java file, what files we are able to get? No dot class file, only dot class files. No other files are generated here. No dot class here we are getting. Nice, right, sir? As per the definition, I'm telling to you, I compiled my program here, but I want to execute this program multiple times, not like in a single time here. Multiple times I want to execute my program. What are these multiple times here I want to execute there? Observe carefully. Now here I am going to take different executions here multiple times now. All right, sir. Now here I want to go for one time. This is like what there, one time execution. This is one time execution here. And then after that, here we are able to get some output. Output here we are getting there. This is one time. Observe carefully. For compilation purpose here, we are going to use one operating system. Later I will confirm it. For execution purpose, we are using what they know, another operating system. Now this is one time execution here. Like this, how many times I want to execute my program? They know multiple times I want to execute my program. Multiple times I want to execute my program. Third time. Similarly, fourth time I want to take it. All of you guys, observe carefully. From this diagram, here we are getting some points clarity. What points clarity here we are getting there? How many times we are compiling our program now? Come on, answer for my questions here. How many times we compiled our program there? One time we compiled our program. But how many times we are executing this program now? Multiple times we are executing this program. What multiple times here we are executing this program here now? How many times here? 4 times here we are executing our program. All of you are getting clarity up to this point or not? Now understand these points clearly. All of you know. For example, for compilation purpose, I'm using like what they know, Windows operating system I'm using there. Right, sir? Now answer for my question here. I'm telling to you, compilation I'm performing on which operating system here? No, like Windows operating system I've used. Right, sir? Understand it. Now this is source program. Here we are performing compilation. The compilation here we are performing on Windows operating system. Okay. Listen carefully. I'm telling this point here. Now here, what file here we are getting guys now? After compilation, what file here we are getting there? Now tell me, dot class file here we are getting or not? What file we are getting there now? Dot class file. Please listen carefully. What is this dot class file actually? What exactly the nature of the dot class file? In the future, I will ask one question. What is the difference between .exe file and a dot class file? .exe file information we understood there. .exe file contains executable code which is as per the operating system only. Operating system represented code is available inside the .exe file. Got my point or not? Now understand what is this dot class file here. In this case now, observe carefully. Right, sir. Dot class file contains bytecode. .exe file contains directly executable code. .exe file contains what there? Directly executable code. But a dot class file contains what there? Bytecode. Dot class file contains what there? Bytecode. Okay. Okay. What is the nature of this bytecode? No, it is not directly executable code. It is not a directly executable code. Okay. If it is not executable code, so what is this code actually? It is an intermediate code. It is an what there? Intermediate code. It is not source code and it is not executable code. In the middle, it is available. It is not source code. It is not .java file code. At the same time, it is not a .exe file code. It is an intermediary. It is not executable code and it is not a source code. What developer has written, it is an intermediary code. Okay, and one more point here we have to understand. It is not following. It is not following any operating system representations. This point is important. It is not having any of the operating system representations, including Windows. Why I'm stressing on this Windows? No. Why I'm stressing on this Windows? No. We compiled our program on which operating system? No. Windows. Even though we compiled Java program on Windows, dot class file is generated. That a dot class file contains bytecode. It is not directly executable code. It is an intermediate code, and it is not following. It is not following. I think not is missing here now. The total meaning is going to be changed here. It is not following any operating system representations, including Windows. Clear? All of you up to this point here? All right. Now understand it now. Now I want to confirm some operating systems here. For one time, first execution. Now here I want to provide like what they know, Linux operating system. For second execution, I want to provide like what they know, Unix operating system. For third time execution, I want to go for what their Mac. Then fourth time, I want to use like what the same Windows operating system I want to use. Guys, all of you get my point or not? Then same Windows operating system I have to use for what they know. Fourth time can know. Understand it clearly. This is one operating system. Now here we are going to use another operating system Mac here. Now similarly here we are going to use like what their Unix operating system. Now similarly we want to go for like what their Linux operating system here we want to use. That's it. These are the various different operating systems here we are using there. All right. Now observe carefully. One simple point now. After completion of this, one simple point here. Listen carefully. We have Java program. We compiled this Java program on Windows operating system. We got dot class file. What is the nature of the dot class file? No. What is the nature of the dot class file here? Dot class file contains what? Dot class files contains what there? Bytecode. What is the nature of the bytecode? Not a directly executable code, and it is not following any of the operating system representations. It is an intermediate code. Okay. Now the actual point will come now. Understand my point here. If we want to execute any code in Linux operating system, if we want to execute any code in Linux operating system, that code must have Linux representations. That code must have Linux representations. If we want to execute any bytecode on Unix operating system, that bytecode must have Unix representations. Similarly, if you want to execute any bytecode on Mac operating system, that bytecode must have Mac representations. If you want to execute any bytecode on Windows operating system, that bytecode must have Windows representations. Clear to all of you? This is a minute point I'm telling there. From this point onwards, I'm taking my conclusion. Up to dot class file generation is very clear. Nature of the dot class file is what there? It is an intermediate code, not having any of the operating system representations. But unfortunately, it is not directly executable code. But if you want to execute this code in a Unix operating system, this bytecode must have which operating system representations? No, Unix representations. But what representations are available? No operating system representations are available. Neutral bytecode it is. But if you want to execute this on Unix operating system, it must have Unix representations. If you want to execute this bytecode on Linux operating system, it must have Linux representations. But at present, it has only neutral bytecode, an intermediate code. No operating system representations are available. But if you want to execute this on Unix operating system, it must have Unix representations. If you want to execute this on Linux operating system, it must have Linux representations. If you want to execute this on Windows operating system, it must have Windows representations. Got the difference or not? So as it is, if we provide this dot class file, to the Linux operating system, program will not be executed. As it is, if we provide this dot class file to Unix Linux operating system, program will not be executed. As it is, if we provide to the Mac operating system, program will not be executed. Why? Because here execution is required. Windows representations on Windows operating system, Mac representations on Mac operating system, and Unix representations on Unix operating system, Linux representations on Linux operating system. But what we are providing here, no, here we are providing only neutral representations. In our dot class file, what we are having there, no, only neutral representations are available. Hey, all of you are following my point or not? But I want to execute my program. I want to execute my program exactly in this particular situation. Exactly in this particular situation, to execute our program. To execute our program in this particular situation, to execute our program, or simply to make Java as a platform independent programming language. To make Java as a platform independent programming language, exactly in this particular situation, Sun Microsystems has provided converters. Sun Microsystems has provided what? Their converters. What exactly these converters? No, observe carefully. Sun Microsystems has provided converters exactly in this location. Sun Microsystems has provided converters exactly in these locations. Observe carefully, all of you know. Converter or a translator, all the things are okay, fine. But names, any name here we can use, but the context is very same. I want to say like this is what they know, converter. This is one converter here. Now here also be, this is another converter. And this is like what I'm telling there, another converter. And finally now this is like what I'm telling to you, another converter. Sun Microsystems has provided all these many converters. Observe carefully. Then what is the job of this converter? No, each and every converter. What is the job of these converters, guys? Now tell me. The job of this converter is, first converter, taking neutral bytecode as an input. Taking neutral bytecode as an input, which doesn't have any operating system representations. Taking neutral bytecode as an input, but converting that neutral bytecode to Linux representations. This converter responsibility is what they're taking neutral bytecode as an input, converting that neutral bytecode into what they know, Linux representations. When we give Linux represented code to this execution, automatically this execution is going to be performed successfully or not. Here it is expecting Linux representations only. This converter is converting into the Linux representations only. That a Linux represented code, if we provide to the execution, then the program will be executed or not. Similarly, what is the job of this converter here? What is the job of this particular converter? No, this converter will take neutral bytecode as an input and converting that neutral bytecode into Unix operating system representations. When we provide Unix represented executable code to the execution, now execution is going to be completed. It will be executed successfully. Why? Because this execution is expecting what they know, Unix representations can know. Now Unix represented code is provided by this particular converter, so our program will be executed. Similarly, now tell me, what is the job of this particular converter here? This third converter here, no? Job of the third converter is taking neutral bytecode as an input, taking neutral bytecode which doesn't have any operating system representations, no, taking neutral bytecode as an input, converting that neutral bytecode into which operating system representations? No, Mac representations. Converting this neutral bytecode, what representations there? Mac representations. Whenever we are providing Mac representations, no, then that Mac represented code will be executed by this execution process. Then we are able to get what there, some outputs clearly. Next one, what is the responsibility of the last converter here? No, the last converter responsibility is what there, taking neutral bytecode as an input, converting that neutral bytecode into what there? No, Windows represented code. Converting that neutral bytecode into what there? Windows represented codes. Then automatically that Windows code will be executed by this execution process. There we are able to get some outputs. Yes, guys, all of you get my point or not? Once again, I'm asking one question to you. Now tell me, what is the job of these converters? No. In the middle, I've taken that converters care. What is the job of this converters care? No, converting or taking neutral bytecode as an input, converting that neutral bytecode into what there? Converting that neutral bytecode into what there? Local operating system representations. Converting that neutral bytecode into what there? converting into local operating system representations. Got my point or not? All right, sir. Now here, I'm asking one question there. How Sun Microsystems has provided these converters? How Sun Microsystems has provided these converters? This is my question, guys. Everybody has to understand this. How Sun Microsystems has provided these converters? That is my question here. How Sun Microsystems has provided these converters? That is my question now. All of you observe carefully. Sun Microsystems has provided these converters along with execution only. Sun Microsystems has provided these converters along with execution mechanism only. That means Sun Microsystems has provided this translation and execution in a single mission. Sun Microsystems has provided this conversion and execution in a single mission. The name of that mission is called as JVM. The name of that single mission is called as what they know? JVM. Here JVM. This also be conversion and execution both are done by a single mission. That is what they are JVM. The conversion is an internal part of the JVM. Conversion and execution to internal parts of what they know? JVM. I'm asking one question to all of you. Try to answer for it. What is the role of the JVM in Java? Two actions. What is the role of the JVM in Java? Two actions. What are the two actions? You know, first one is what there? Translating our program from neutral bytecode to local operating system representations. Then after that, executing that converted bytecode. Executing that converted bytecode. Small terminology. When these converters are converting neutral bytecode into the local operating system representations, no, that the local operating system represented bytecode is called as native code. Native code. Got my point or not? Local operating system represented bytecode is what their native code. That native code will be executed by automatically JVM internally. Yes, all of you are getting clarity on these points now. All right, sir. What is the responsibility of the JVM? Now tell me. JVM is responsible for two things. What two things you know? Come on, now tell me. First one is what there? Conversion, and second one is what they know? Execution. These two things could be done by JVM internally. Am I right or not? These two things are done by JVM internally. Am I right or not? Okay, very good. Now they are the two things here we have to understand clearly. Next one is after that. I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now try to answer for my question clearly. What I'm giving answer there, what I'm giving question here. In this example, in this diagram, everybody now answer for my question here. In this diagram, how many times we compiled our program? How many times we compiled our program? Only one time we compiled our program. But how many times we executed our program? Multiple times we executed our program. 4 times we executed our program. Got my point or not? We compiled our program on which operating system? Windows operating system. We executed our program on which operating systems? No, multiple operating systems. Unix, Linux, Mac, or Windows. Again, Windows also no. Multiple operating systems here we have taken. Am I right or not? Compiled on one operating system and executed on multiple operating systems. So Java is a programming language. It is possible in the case of Java like this. So Java is what they know. Java is what they're independent of the operating system or not. So Java is a platform independent programming language or not? No response, guys. Java is a platform independent programming language or not? Now tell me, I'm giving conclusion. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVM or not? If no JVM is available, no conversion mechanism. If no conversion mechanism, this is same as what their C programming language only. So Java is a platform independent programming language because of what they know? Because of JVM. Because of JVMs only, Java is a platform independent programming language. Clear or not? One more question I'm asking there. Give answer perfectly. All of you ready for it now? Listen. How many times we compiled our program? Only one time. How many times we execute our program? Multiple times we executed here. In this diagram, 4 times we executed here now. Good. 4 times we have used JVM or not? 4 times we have used JVM or not? Now here my question is, for 4 times execution of our program, How many JVMs we have used? Is that only one JVM or four JVMs? No. Don't give answer by seeing my color quotations here. Four different colors I have given. That's why four JVM. Don't give such type of answer here. Think properly and give answer here. Now tell me, one time I compiled my program, four times I executed my program here. All four times execution, how many JVMs I have used? Are these are same JVM or four different JVMs now? Come on guys, same JVM or four different JVMs now? Come on once again, same JVM or four different JVMs now? Same JVM we are giving answer, am I right or not? But answer is four JVMs. Answer is four JVMs, not single JVM. Answer is what there? Four JVMs, not single JVM. Yeah, I will give reason also for it. What is that reason here? Understand that reason clearly. Java is a platform independent programming language. No doubt for it. That too, that is because of JVMs only. Java is a platform independent programming language because of JVMs only. But JVM is platform dependent. JVM is what there? Platform dependent. See the diagram? This JVM is running on what? Linux based JVM. Second JVM is running on what? Unix based JVM. Third JVM is running on what? Mac based JVM. Fourth JVM is running on what? Windows based. So Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is what there? Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is what there? Platform dependent tool. Platform dependent tool. Observe carefully here. Java is a platform independent programming language. Java is a platform independent programming language, but JVM is part of what there? JVM is a platform dependent. Am I right or not? Not only JVM. Not only JVM. The complete Java software is a platform dependent. Okay, before that, one more point. JVM is a platform dependent. Not only JVM, Java compiler is also a platform dependent. Java profiler is also a platform dependent. Java signer is also a platform dependent. Java decompiler is also a platform dependent. And Java documentator is also a platform dependent. Means that all these are Java tools only. All these Java tools are coming automatically along with our Java installation. Java software, in the sense combination of these tools only. But all these tools are platform dependent. It means that automatically Java software is what they know. Java software, in the sense all the tools combination, all these tools are platform dependent. No. So what about the Java software? Java software is a platform dependent or platform independent? No. Platform dependent. Java programming language is platform independent. Java software is a platform dependent. JVM, Java compiler, both are what they know? Platform dependent. I'm asking one more question to all of you guys. Now try to answer for it. Overall, in this overall picture, how many operating systems I've used there? How many operating systems? No, five types. Five times compilation, then four times. Of course, Windows is repeated here, but consider two different things. No, overall, different mission. This is one different mission. That is another different mission here. Am I right or not? Overall, how many missions we have used here? No, five missions we have used. Of course, four or five operating systems we have used there. Am I right or not? If you want to compile the program or if you want to execute the program, Java software is required or not? Come on, Java software is required or not? That means we are including five missions in this overall process. No, in all five missions, Java software is required or not? In all five missions, Java software is required or not? Now tell me, for compilation, which operating system we have used there? Windows. Here we must install Windows-based Java software only. For compilation, we have used Windows operating system. Now, there we have to install what based Java software there? Windows-based Java software only. First execution we performed on what there? No, Linux. So in this Linux mission, what the Java software is required? No, Linux-based Java software we have to install. On Unix operating system, which Java software is required? You know, Unix-based Java software is required. On Mac operating system, which Java software must be installed? You know, Mac related Java software we have to install. On Windows operating system at the end, again what Java software is required here? No, Windows represented Java software is required. So final conclusion is what there? What is the meaning of it? No, meaning is Java programming language is a platform independent programming language. But JVM is what they know? Platform dependent. Java compiler is what there? Platform dependent. Not only these two, the total Java software is what they know? Platform dependent. Java software is what there? Platform dependent. But still people are not believing my statement. Having question mark faces now. Don't worry, I will show one more point. I will show that proof. Guys, now I want to download Java software. Java downloads. Arakil.com is a website there. Just open a new tab. Let me open this. Java downloads. Guys, observe carefully. I think so. This is not giving much perfect information for you. Let me go for it. Java 7 download. I want to go for somewhat older versions here. There we can understand clearly that point here. This is one link for Java software. On what there? These 4 Linux operating system links are not. Next one. What next one here? Then what next one here? No. Solaris only. Then after that, what next one here? Windows operating system. Of course, if you go for more internal, Mac and everything will be available. My question is very simple. If Java software is a platform independent, what is the need of giving these many Java software links separately for each and every operating system? Understand my point or not? If Java software is a platform independent, it's neutral to every operating system, then what is the need of giving these many different links for each and every operating system? Why they are not giving directly for all operating systems only this link? No, got my point or not? But they are given this separate links in the sense definitely that software is dependent on the operating system or not. So for example, if I click on this one, JDK 7 update 80, Windows x64.exe, if I click on this one, Windows related Java software will be downloaded, which includes Windows related compiler, Windows related JVM. If I click on this one here, JDK 7 update 80, Solaris like something else, no? If I click on this one, Solaris related Java software will be downloaded, which includes Solaris related compiler, Solaris related JVM. Similarly, if I click on like what their Mac, this is available, Mac is available. If I click on this link now, then what we are able to get there, Mac related Java software will be downloaded, which includes Mac represented compiler, Mac represented JVM. Similarly, Linux, same Linux related Java software will be downloaded, where we are able to get a Linux related compiler, Linux related JVM. Guys, all of you are getting my points clearly, what I am telling to you? Right, so now this is what exactly the meaning of like what there Java, and it is like what their platform independent. Right, so let me have some small description about this. By this, I want to finish this total part here. Right, sir. What exactly the point I'm telling to you regarding this platform independent programming language? How Java is a platform independent here? All right, sir. If we compile Java application on Windows operating system, if we compile Java application on Windows operating system, now you only tell me what files here we are able to get there. Then compiler will generate what files here? No, dot class file. And what is the nature of this dot class file, guys? Now tell me. Compile is also a platform dependent, no doubt for that. Then what is this dot class file here? No, it is not having or else it contains what they know bytecode. Am I right or not? It contains bytecode. Then what next one here? No, it is not directly executable code. It is not directly executable code. Then after that, what next one here? Not directly executable code. Then at the same time, then it is an intermediate code. It is what there? An intermediate code, and it does not have any operating system, any operating system representations. It doesn't have any operating system representations. But here, what is the point here? No, if we want to, execute bytecode, if we want to execute this bytecode on any of the operating systems, if we want to execute this bytecode on any of the operating systems, then that bytecode, that neutral bytecode I'm telling there, then that neutral bytecode must be converted to the respective operating system representations. Guys, why I'm giving this total notes information to you? For the sake of your understanding only, for the sake of your study only, but exactly the class content I'm discussing there, that everything I'm typing for the sake of you only. Otherwise, I will not type this content here, not required. But you will get benefit of it. Right, sir. Now let's understand this clearly. Converted, represented, the local must be converted to the respective operating system representations. Got my point or not? Now the point is what there in the above context, in the above context, Sun Microsystems has provided the required the required converters, the required converters in order to execute Java applications in multiple operating systems. Answer my point here now. In the above context, Sun Microsystems has provided the required converters in order to execute Java applications in multiple operating systems. That is to make Java as what platform independent programming language. All right, then immediately the next question is what there? How that converters are provided by Sun Microsystems kernel. Answer my point here. In the above context, Sun Microsystems has provided all converters along with execution process in a single component inside Java software. That is, what is that single component here? No, JVM. Getting my point here clearly? What I am telling there? No. All right, sir. Now here JVM is provided here now with the execution process in a single component inside Java software. That is what their JVM. Now I want to give conclusion for it. What is that conclusion here now? Java is a platform independent programming language. Am I right or not? Java is a platform independent programming language because of what they know, JVMs. But JVM is what there? But JVM is what there? Platform dependent. JVM is what there? Platform dependent. Answer my point here. Platform dependent. Note kind of point I'm telling to you. Not only JVM, the complete Java software is what they know, platform dependent. Java program is platform independent, but Java software is what they know, platform dependent. Right, so now they are the conclusions here we have to provide there. After that, I need to go for this diagram, guys. Already I prepared this diagram now. I want to give this diagram to you clearly. But please recognize these diagrams also. You have to understand this content clearly. All right, sir. Because of that reason, I'm giving every point to you. Now try to recognize this. Okay, fine. So this is about like what there, Java and it's a platform independent nature. That points here we understood there. But at finally I have a question. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about this question immediately, but I have a question. Then tomorrow we have to start with this particular question only. What is my question here? What are the differences between, these are the interview questions only. What are the questions I'm giving inside the class now? Everything is an interview question that are already asked by interviewers in outside. So we have to prepare separately. Right from beginning onwards, what I'm telling there, try to keep this interview questions separately in a separate notes. Write the notes in your own hands, with your own hands, separately. Maintain a separate notes for what there, interview questions. By the end of the core Java, you may get 150 to 200 number of interview questions there. If we keep them separately, before moving to that interview, just one time we can check all these questions now. That's why I'm telling you, maintain separately these questions, separate notes. Right, sir? What are the differences between .exe file and .class file? What are the differences between .exe file and .class file? Right, sir? Already time is up. Then these points, these topics, I will discuss with you on tomorrow. This point I will discuss with you on tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we are going to see this particular point. After that, after completion of that, tomorrow another interesting topic we are going to understand. That interesting topic is what there. Pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. Why pointers are not suitable in Java? What is the problem with the pointers in Java? That points here we are going to understand. By that we are able to get some clarity clearly. Guys, all of you are getting clarity now? That's it, guys. That's all for today. And tomorrow we are going to see that content again. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, dot cluster is a platform independent only. That tomorrow I will discuss about it. Don't worry for it. Compile is also platform dependent. Yes, Jyoteshwara. Sir, previous class videos are available. Yes, definitely. Guys, I think so. Tomorrow onwards, then everybody will get access. Those who are registered for this course, you are able to get that access, videos access, we are able to get there, so that you will get it. Don't worry. Yeah, yeah. And what next one here apart from this? Dot class for is platform independent. Yeah, then all previous classes you are able to get as videos, guys. Don't worry. Okay. Yeah, this is only running notes. I'm going to share these running notes with a particular link actually. Take this link, take this link. This is a link for Core Java notes. Take this link and videos will be provided through different access. Our admin people will share that videos link to you, but not that share it to everybody. Maybe I think so from Monday onwards that the link will be shared for everybody for videos. No? Monday onwards you are able to get videos link, then try to check with that. Okay, right. 21C. See. Remove this part and keep ORCL here. This entire thing is not required. ORCL. 1 minute. I'm sorry. ORCL. Hmm. Save it. Save it. Save it. What happened? Hmm. https://tinyurl.com/core java 6 pm notes. Yeah, Meenakshi, then you are able to provide that videos link to you. Just click on that link, automatically you will get that videos. Don't worry. Still same error, no? 1 minute, 1 minute. See this. Is that password is right? Right now run it. Run it. Hmm. What is it error here? All private instances are in restricted mode only. Connection is refused. Why? Because your username and password may not be right. Please check once again. Username and password. Then open the SQL prompt again. Shubham, please provide the complete details of this batch. Yeah, thank you. What do you require? Then see, these are the various packages which are available in these classes. No, which one you require? Just we can join with that. The other details. Then if we know these details now, directly what I'm telling there, contact with our offline people, contact with our admin people there. Online classes. For these online classes, we have to use these links. No, then we are able to get it. Okay. Yeah, mock interviews will be provided for everybody. Mock interviews and as well as like what they know, and this written test and everything will conduct. Don't worry. Connected. What's that username you have given there? That's okay. Username. What's that username there? Sys. What you have given there? Use that sys. Save it. Is that password is right? Oh, okay. Now check it. Yeah. Thank you guys. We'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Still problem? 1 minute. 1 minute. Guys, we'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining content. Thank you. Thanks a lot.